This pen reacts with water and creates magic. Hello, Moonbeams, it's Emily. Welcome back to my studio. Today we're creating a whimsical fairy dust potion bottle using one of my favorite unusual tools, the Elegant Writer. I like to start with intention, laying down sketchy broken lines using a light layer of ink first. It gives me a little more control once the water is introduced. And as soon as that ink is activated, the magic begins. Soft, dreamy blues begin to emerge, and every time I use an Elegant Writer, I'm reminded why it's one of my favorite supplies. I'm continuously adjusting the amount of water throughout the process because even tiny changes completely affect how the ink blooms across the paper. That's part of what makes the Elegant Writer feel so magical and unpredictable. For lighter areas, I'll often use whatever ink is left on my brush. I also love preserving little pockets of white paper to create soft, natural highlights. Because this is meant to be a glass potion bottle, I've added a second line just inside the outline. That small detail creates the illusion of thickness and makes the bottle feel much more dimensional. When I want softer blooms and richer shadows, I'll add a little more ink and let the water do its thing. Just look at those dreamy blues, pinks, and purples coming through. One of my favorite things about using the Elegant Writer this way is the beautiful sea glass quality it creates. So beautiful. Here's a fun trick. Scribble a little ink onto a non-porous surface, like a plastic bag. Then activate it with a damp brush and bring it over to your painting. This gives you much more control and is a wonderful way to create smooth transitions, dimension, and deeper shadows without introducing any harsh lines. Another surprising property of the Elegant Writer is that once everything is dry, additional layers can be added to build depth and interest. As I was painting, I had unintentionally been adding a bit of splatter, so I decided to just add a little bit more splatter. And this is where the painting really starts to feel magical. The highlights. Adding a highlight between the bottle outline and the fairy dust instantly makes the glass feel more dimensional and luminous. White Posca markers, P.H. Martin's Bleed Proof White, and Gesso are some of my favorite supplies to add those magical touches. A fine liner can also be used anywhere you want a little extra definition or design. The elegant writer works too. Just remember that any unactivated ink will react again when or if it comes into contact with any wet media. Now I'm curious, what would you name your fairy dust potion bottle? I decided on Moonlit Fairy Dust because I imagined Sylvie and Roxy collecting fairy dust beneath the light of a full moon. And then, of course, I added glitter. The extreme holographic glitter paint took the bottle from magical to mystical. That shimmer is everything. I only applied it to the areas that would appear to be inside the bottle, so it would look like sparkling fairy dust suspended within the glass. Unfortunately, this is where I made the classic artist mistake. A few of my highlights had faded into the background, so I thought I'd quickly add them back in. Easy, right? Wrong. The marker I grabbed was much thicker than I should have used, and the highlights immediately felt too harsh. What followed was about 20, maybe 30 minutes of trying to fix something that honestly didn't need fixing in the first place. I tried water. I tried gesso. I even tried bringing back some elegant writer shadows. None of them worked quite the way I'd hoped. If you've ever reached the end of a project and thought, I'll just add one more thing, you probably know exactly what I was feeling. Eventually, I stepped away for a little while and came back with fresh eyes. After one final adjustment, I was much happier with the result. Sometimes the best thing we can do as artists, walk away. Give ourselves a little space, then come back with a fresh perspective. Okay, seriously, at this point, I was literally laughing at myself. Honestly, I probably would have called the painting finished had I not been so frustrated by those highlights. So naturally, I asked myself, what can I add that might pull attention away from the areas I don't like? More sparkle, obviously. I decided to add a few shine points around the edge of the bottle. Did it work? If you're still staring at the mistakes, please don't tell me. I prefer to live in blissful ignorance. Thank you very much. And for one final flourish, I added a border to help draw the eye toward the glowing potion bottle. Thank you so much for spending part of your day creating with me. I really appreciate you joining me in my studio. If you enjoyed today's video, be sure to hit the like button and subscribe to my channel. Let me know in the comments if you're going to give the Elegant Writer a try. I can't wait to see what you create. And if you do create something magical, be sure to tag me. You'll find all of my information in the description box below. I'll be back on Thursday with a Sketchbook Guild Live, where I'll be revealing June's theme. And let's just say it's going to make a splash. Looking at my finished fairy dust bottle brings a mischievous smile to my face, and one very important question. Where should I begin sprinkling magical fairy dust first? Until next time, stay luminous and keep creating magic. Bye, Moonbeams.